Welcome to Guymon, Oklahoma. We are back for the men's game. The Guymon Tigers taking on the Hooker Bulldogs. If you have been with us earlier, you would have seen the Lady Tigers go down 37 to 44. Starting lineup here before we get started for the Bulldogs, Carson Neville, Cole Cathcart, Dylan Metcalf, Zach Hidalgo, and Cole Fisher. Bulldogs are coached by Todd Kerr, assisted by Aaron Ruiz and Jace Kerr. For your Tigers, your starting lineup is number 2, Nash Kaufman, number 4, Adonai Razine, number 12, Brett Fields, number 23, Brandon Coronado, and number 31, Gannon Wallace. I'm going to see if I can... Excuse me, I'm having trouble with my mic, seeing if I can get this working. Hello, check, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of feet. Check. That's a little better. Maybe. Now I'm out. There we go. I'm gonna check though to see if I'm gonna try something real quick. Check. Is that better? Ooh, that's a lot better.
Warm Guymon Tiger welcome to the players, coaches, administrators, and fans from the Hooker Bulldogs and meet their starters.
Check. Here we go. We gotta work.
Senior number 1, Carson Neville. The 6'2" senior number 3, Cole Cathcart. A 6'4" senior number 11, Dylan Metcalf. A 6'7" junior number 15, Zach Hidalgo. A 6'3" senior number 30, Cole Fisher. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Todd Kerr. Now let's meet the starters for your Guymon Tigers. A 6'3" senior number 2, Nash Kaufman. A 6'2" sophomore number 4, Adonai Razine. A 5'9" senior number 12, Brett Fields. A 6'1" junior number 23, Brandon Coronado. A 6'4" senior number 31, Gannon Wallace. The head coach of your Guymon Tigers is Coach Gary Wallace.
There's one, what's the word I'm looking for? Just lost it.
Key of the game?
No, I was going to say there's one thing that needs to be correction. There we go. Brandon Coronado is not in the game. It is Saeed Diaz. Nash Kaufman. Oh my goodness. Nash Kaufman almost threw that ball out of bounds. Here's Kaufman. Ooh, Razine for a 3? That's no good. I think that was a long 2.
That was a long 2 there.
Here's Cathcart bringing it up for the Bulldogs. Down low, drives, gets it back out to number 1 for a 3. That was good. That is Carson Neville. Kaufman now. Kaufman. And the Bulldogs will take possession. Nice and aggressive move by Kaufman, just a little too aggressive. Here's Cathcart over to Hidalgo, over to Neville. Cathcart, Neville drives, gets it left. Oh, Diaz almost takes that ball away. Little jumper off, and Razine gets the ball. Drives down further, misses. Rebound by the Bulldogs. And this is Neville. On the left wing here, back to the top. Hidalgo to Fisher. Neville. Fields guarding Neville. Tigers in a man defense. Neville up and in and out. Wallace with the rebound. Here's Kaufman. Over to Diaz. Diaz gets to Wallace. Wallace to Fields for a three. That was no good, just a little too strong. This rebound by Hidalgo, who is 6'7". He's got a little bit of height. Neville with the high post drives. No good. They're going to call a foul on Racine, I believe. Oh, excuse me. They're going to call that on Metcalf for over the back. And the Tigers now with the ball. I don't know if this mic is any better.
Fields with the ball at top of the key, up to Nash. Diaz now. Diaz down to the post. Nash drives, pulls up, throws cross court to Diaz. Two by...
Check. All right. That might be as good as we're going to get it tonight. Okay. There we go. Check. Is that it? Nope.
Foul by Wallace after the shot. Neville with the ball.
And that's Fisher with the jumper. Kaufman bringing the ball up.
Nice pick up top by Wallace.
Nice little throw. That was a dangerous pull back.
Coach wanted to go score and he threw it back out.
Here's Fields now double teamed. Racine up and good.
Racine 1 for 4, finally gets a bucket to go.
Here's Neville. Over to Fisher. Fisher at the top. Rocking that mullet. Baseline. Gets to back out.
Mike Gundy would be proud.
Wrong sport. Nice pass from Kaufman to Wallace for an easy bucket. Looks like Silver and Coronado are coming in for the Tigers, as well as Gonzalez. Here's Cathcart to Fisher. Fisher over to Neville for a three. That's no good. Air ball. Ooh. That was a heads-up play by Cathcart. And Wallace, Diaz, and Racine are going to come out. Kaufman brings the ball up. Kaufman to Fields. Fields drives, gets to Slover. Almost gives it away. Over to Gonzalez. Oh. Look behind you. Here's Fields. Coronado. Long two. That one won't go. Rebounded by Hidalgo.
That was the shot they want, just didn't put it in.
Here's Fisher over to Cathcart. Hidalgo.
Oh! That was a nice no-look pass by Cathcart, but I don't know about that call.
It was like Kaufman just put his hands up and caught the ball as it was on its way
Yeah,
up.
I think Hidalgo was off balance, and so it's unfortunate.
And that foul is going to go against Slover, not Kaufman.
Okay.
Razine's going to come in for Kaufman. Second one's up and good for Hidalgo. Razine now at the point position. Over to Fields. Fields shoots. Misses. That's a rebound by the Bulldogs. Here's Cathcart to Fisher. Slover to Fields. Here's Razine. Oh. And they're going to call a foul on Razine, I believe. Is a late foul. That was definitely a late foul, but that would go against the Tigers. On the baseline, Hidalgo drives, comes back out to Neville. Over to Cathcart for a three. Misses. Rebound by the Bulldogs. Shots up and no good. Another rebound by the Bulldogs. Hidalgo. And that one will go. Razine now. Over to Coronado. Coronado gets it to Slover. Slover back to Fields. Tigers in their motion offense. Slover almost threw that one away. Razine has the ball now. Ooh. Bulldogs are a very physical team. Over to Fields. Fields drives, shoots. And they're going to call that on number 11, Dylan Metcalf. Kaufman and Wallace back in for Fields and Gonzalez. Kaufman putting the ball out, gets to Coronado, almost throws that away. And they're gonna, Wallace looks to be hurt. He limps off, and Brian Amador is gonna come in. I hope he is okay. We're going to need his size today. That does not look good. Kaufman now with the ball. Gets to Coronado. Coronado drives over, gets it, fakes to Slover. Now gets to Slover, over back to Kaufman. Kaufman to Coronado in the corner, drives. Gets to Amador, but they're going to call a foul. Not sure, maybe that he stepped out.
Yes, it looks like he stepped on the inbound as he made that move to the basket.
Bulldogs now with the ball. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Looking, trying to go somewhere. There's a three attempt. Oh, and that was a nice block by Slover after he should not have given up that that rebound. Kaufman drives over to Coronado, fakes a three back to Kaufman, gets to Slover for a three, and that one will go. Amador fighting down low. Cathcart. And that is no good. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Guymon trails 4-12. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Excuse me, just a few moments. And we're back at the start of the second quarter where the Tigers trail 4-12. You gotta love all of those alarms and the Bulldogs get the ball to start this second quarter. Number 34 shots up and good. That is Hudson Hill. This is his first time in the game. Rosine now with the ball over to Kaufman. Kaufman to Diaz. Diaz drives, shoots, and that's good. Oh, that's Diaz's first points of the game. Bulldogs down low, shoots off the backboard, but no good. Rebounded by Amador. Kaufman with the ball now. Kaufman to Diaz for the three. That's good. Coach Wallace encouraging his team. This is Hill. Tigers playing his own defense. Here's Cathcart. Shots up and no good. Up and that one's good. That's number 11, Dylan Metcalf. Tigers just struggling on the board here. Kaufman to Fields. Fields drives in. Ooh, that's taken away. Blocks look like by Parker. Here's Hill. Shots up and no good. Calvago just took that ball out of Rosine's hands and puts it in. Excuse me, that shot was Parker, not Hill. Kaufman now with the ball, down 9-18, 6 minutes left.
Nice pass.
Amador shoots it. Amador just needs to go up strong, and there it goes. That one will go. And Coach Kerr for the Bulldogs is not very happy. And they're going to throw this one away. Gonzalez comes in here for Amador, and the Bulldogs have a few substitutions in themselves. They currently have Neville, Cathcart, Fisher, Hildago, and Metcalf on the floor. Gonzalez, high post, shot up and no good. That was a long jumper. Here's Neville. Neville gets it down low. Throws it cross court to the Mullet, who has Hildago for a three, and that's no good. But the Tigers are going to draw the foul here. That was on number...
I believe they're saying he
one.
stepped on the inbound line.
Oh, excuse me, my bad. Tigers are struggling on the boards here just because they are outsized. Diaz here, trying to get him to start to play. Over to Rosine. Rosine to Fields. Fields drives. Gets it back out to Kaufman. He kind of ran into some trouble there. Kaufman goes left, gets to Fields. Fields drives right. Makes the three over to Rosine. Back to Kaufman. Kaufman drives. And they're going to call a foul there. On number 30, that's Cole Fisher. That's his first. He has 5 points for the Bulldogs. Tigers get out to Rosine, now to Fields. Fields ran to the double team. Here's Neville. And Fields with a hard foul on Neville.
It was a bad sequence there by Fields.
And that's Fields' first foul. Well, this is a good sign. It looks like Wallace is getting ready to come back in. Neville misses his first shot. Wallace is going to come in for Gonzalez. Unfortunately, the Tigers are without Acevedo tonight.
He has hurt his wrist and is out for the season.
Neville's second shot's up and good. Good to have Wallace back, though, because the Tigers are going to need his size and his physicality. Diaz now on the left wing. Gets it over to Razine on the right. Razine drives over to Fields. Fields gets it back out to Razine. He drives, gets it to Diaz. Diaz to Wallace. Wallace back to Diaz. Fields, Razine for a three. That's good. 3:44 left in this first half. Neville with the ball.
Razine now has 5 points.
Neville at the left baseline. Blocked by Kaufman. You know, there's something about blocking that even though most of the time it goes the other way, they're just...
Makes you feel good about yourself when you're able to do it.
Something about the momentum you get.
Yeah.
Nice, almost a takeaway there by Fields. Way to get his hands in. Neville back at the top. Over to...
Oh, that's a walk.
And that's going to be a turnover on number 30, Cole Fisher. Kaufman now with the ball, 3:22 left in the first half. The Tigers trying to close this gap. Fields to Diaz. Diaz back to Fields. To Wallace, to Razine, takes, back to Wallace, shoots. Oh, it misses that. Wallace should have shot that first time.
Yeah.
He had the ball.
Just a little tentative on the offensive side.
Here's Neville. 24 shoots and misses. Nice rebound by Wallace. That is Gavin Parker who missed.
Wallace's first rebound of the night.
Kaufman just kind of throws a nice rebound. And Coach Kerr's going to call a halftime out on that. We'll be back in just a few moments. And we're back. Tigers now down by just 3 toward the end of the first half. Tigers on the court are Diaz, Fields, Kaufman, Wallace, and Razine. Here's Cathcart for the Bulldogs. Bringing it up. Gets to Neville on the left. Over to Parker. Parker back to Neville, shoots. That was a long 2, but that'll go. Here's Kaufman. Kaufman over to Fields. Now to Razine. Wallace. Back to Razine. Oh, nice pick and roll, but goodness gracious. Wallace gets called for the foul. That was unfortunate for Wallace because he had a wide open lane.
Yeah, that's his second foul.
Here's Parker. Parker to Neville. Oh, nice takeaway by Wallace. Kaufman to Diaz, back to Kaufman. Oh, and Kaufman's going to get called for the travel there. Just moved his feet. And Tigers are going to bring in the press. Oh, and Fields called for a bad foul there.
That was just unnecessary.
And the Bulldogs now in the bonus. Cathcart's going to get a one-on-one opportunity. First shot's up and good, so he'll get a second opportunity. That's his first point of the game. 1:41 left in the second quarter. Second shot's up and good. We've got a sub here. Metcalf comes in for Parker. Gavin Parker, that is. His brother Jackson also plays, but he is currently on the bench. Here's Razine, shoots, misses, but nice rebound by Fields. Fields to Diaz. Tigers reset their play. Back to Diaz.
Oh, nice crossover by Diaz. Oh!
They're going to call an offensive foul on Diaz. I don't know about that, but
that will be his first. We'll put a question mark by that.
I still don't know why he passed it and why he didn't just go for the shot. I mean, it wouldn't have counted because of the charge, but that looked like an alley-oop attempt, but oh! They're going to call a...
I don't understand that call at all. He carried it out of bounds. If there either had to be a foul or it would have had to been out on him, but...
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened. Here's Hidalgo, misses. And Wallace is going to get called for the foul there. 3-point opportunity for the Dogs. Here's Dylan Metcalf. Just under a minute to go here. Dogs trying to widen their lead to 10. Shot is up and good. Kaufman with the ball. Oh. Diaz thought he was supposed to go in and Kaufman threw it to his outside. Diaz might have had an open three if he stayed. Dogs looking to widen their lead. Here's Cathcart over to Neville for a three. That's no good. Rebound by Razine. Here's Kaufman to Fields. Fields back to Kaufman. Over to Razine. Razine has the big man guarding him. 15 seconds left. Kaufman with the ball. Five seconds left to Wallace. Over to Fields for three. No good, but he'll get 3 free throws here with a second left to go in this first half. Could not be happier with 3 free throws. Fields makes his first. Second one's up and good. Fields with a 3-point opportunity. Up and good. You gotta appreciate someone who makes their free throws. Well, that's the end of our first half. Guymon trails by 7, 19-26. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back, getting ready to start the second half here in Guymon as the Tigers take on the Hooker Bulldogs.
Got some stats for you, Nathan. Hooker only had 4 turnovers that half. We had 6, and they have us beat by 6 boards. They are dominating on the board, and that has led to some easy chip-in baskets.
And that's got to be in part due to their size advantage. They have Hidalgo, who's 6'7", Metcalf at 6'4", Cole Fisher at 6'4". Our tallest guy tonight is Wallace, and he wasn't playing for a little bit as he injured his ankle, but looks like he's back in the game. Top scorer for the Bulldogs is Carson Neville with 7, and Tigers have 2 at 5. That is Diaz and Razine. Tigers on the court here: Diaz, Razine, Wallace, Fields, and Kaufman. Here's Diaz to Wallace, over to Kaufman. Kaufman to Fields, 3. I thought that was good, but just a little too strong. Bulldogs with the ball. Bulldogs with Cathcart. That's a long 3. That was too strong.
Holy walk. No call.
And Fisher got away with a walk there. Here, Kaufman with the drive. Fields, another 3 attempt. That one's good. Bulldogs on the court. Number 3, Cathcart. Number 30, Fisher. 11, Metcalf. That's Cathcart there. Hidalgo and Neville also on the court. Kaufman to Wallace. Wallace just needs to put that ball up. He's going to get called for a walk. But Wallace just needs to turn and shoot. And looked like Wallace might have got a warning there from the ref. Here's Fisher. Over to Cathcart. Neville. Hidalgo on the baseline. Back to Fisher. Drives. Gets to Neville.
Nice closeout by Razine.
Cathcart, here's the double team. Neville drives. They're going to call a foul. That's on number 12, Brett Fields. And Neville will get 2.
That is his 3rd. He will come out. No, they're going to keep him in.
Fields, the top scorer for the Tigers right now with 6. Neville's first shot is up and good. Second shot is up and good. Points to the sky. Here's Razine. Razine with his jets on. Here's Kaufman to Diaz. Back to Kaufman. Kaufman is going to get called, he's going to draw the foul. That's number 30, Cole Fisher. That's his 3rd. And Gavin Parker's going to come in for him. Tigers with the inbound, down by 10, 6:12 left in the 3rd quarter. Oh, Kaufman tripped. And they're going to call a double dribble here on the Bulldogs. Tigers have another opportunity. Here's Fields. Razine. Wallace. Oh! Tried to get it back into Razine, but taken away by Hidalgo. Here's Cathcart. Over to Neville for a three. That's no good. Rebound by Razine. Razine gets it out to Kaufman. Kaufman drives. Nice step. And an easy layup on Kaufman. Bulldogs now with the ball. Here's Neville.
Kaufman now with 4 points.
Cathcart to Hidalgo. Drives baseline, and he stepped out. That'll be Tiger ball. Coronado and Gonzalez come in for Diaz and Wallace. Bulldog coach is not happy about that. You know, with Hidalgo's size, I'm surprised he doesn't get the ball down low more often. Coronado, Razine with a long three, and that one's no good. Here's Cathcart. That's taken away by Fields. Fields smart to not throw it up to Coronado. Gets to Kaufman. Kaufman gets it out to Coronado for a three. And that one's no good. Rebounded by Parker. Neville now with the ball. Tipped by Coronado. Nice heads-up play there. Three by Parker. No good. Rebound by Coronado. Coronado to Fields. Fields to Razine. Open three. That's no good. Rebound by Hidalgo. And Cathcart now brings the ball down for the Bulldogs, who lead by 8 here with 3:52 in the third quarter. Cathcart, the shot, that's a miss. Rebounded by Gonzalez. Here's Razine. Razine over to Coronado, to Kaufman. Kaufman drives, gets it over to Fields. Fields comes back. Kaufman in the wing. Oh. That was just a bad pass.
That unfortunately is Nash Kaufman's 4th turnover this game.
Razine comes out and Slover goes back in. Keys to the game here for the Tigers are turnovers and rebounds. Hidalgo with a nice drive and put in. Widens that lead to double digits. Coronado at the top of the key. Gets to Slover, back to Fields. Fields double team over to Coronado. Coronado comes back to the top, over to Slover, three. That's no good. And they're going to call a push-off on Gonzalez, but
that is his first.
Tigers are just struggling on the board. Here's Hidalgo over to Parker. Parker to Neville. Neville waves him off. Neville to Cathcart for a three. Rebounded by Gonzalez. Kaufman now with the ball. Kaufman drives and draws the foul. A little underhanded.
Little scoop and score, no score. It's obvious with Hooker's size that Guymon's probably not going to out-rebound him, but you want to minimize the rebounds on Hooker's offensive side. You don't want to give them extra putbacks, and that's what's happened, and it's made a difference in the score.
You're right there, but just like the girls' game, Hooker is a little foul happy down low, and if you can just get the ball down and shoot, they're going to swat you. and you have an opportunity to win at the line. Unfortunately for the girls, they struggled at the line.
Yeah. It definitely seems to work in Guymon's favor if they can make this a half-court game versus trying to extend it and run with Hooker.
Kaufman has 2 free throw opportunities here.
He's got 4 points, 2 for 4 from the floor tonight, and he misses that first.
In and out. Second one's up and good. Tigers now with full court press. Here's Hidalgo trying to trap him. They break the press back to Neville up top. Here's Cathcart on the right wing. Gets to Hidalgo at the high post. Parker over to Neville for a 3. That was way off. Nice rebound by Slover. Kaufman trying not to force it. There's Wallace with the rebound. Over to Fields. Drives, gets to Slover. Slover to Coronado. Coronado with the baseline jumper. And Wallace on the ground there. There's Cathcart. That'll go. That'll put the lead at 11. Kaufman now with a 3. That's in and out. Tigers just trying to find something that will go. A minute to go in this third quarter. Tigers trying to get back in this game. Cathcart drives, shoots, and that'll go. Cathcart with a couple quick buckets. And Tigers are going to take a timeout here with 50 seconds left in the third quarter. They trail by 13, 25-38. We'll be back in a minute. Tigers now trying to get back in the game with a minute left in the third quarter. Trying to get this, start inching their way back in. Kaufman with the ball, gets to Razine. Razine to Diaz. Diaz brings it over on the double team. Razine now shoots off the backboard. This is rebounded by Kaufman. Wallace, the high post. He missed that. Bulldogs the rebound. Neville. And that was almost a foul on Kaufman. But Bulldogs with the putback. Widen this game to a 15-point lead. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Tigers trying to get some points. 5 seconds left. Here's Razine. 3. Oh. And the Tigers almost threw that away. 1 second left. Amador gets it back to Kaufman instead of shooting it. I don't think he realized how much time was left. That's the end of the third quarter. Guymon trails 25-40. We'll be back in just a few moments. And we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs will have the possession arrow. Tigers are just struggling on the boards. They are being out-rebounded 22-10. Here, I am not a big proponent for the live or die by the three, but I feel like our Tigers are best when their three-point attempts are on. Wallace, Razine, back to Wallace. Now Diaz drives, and he throws it away. Ooh, Razine with a hard foul on Neville. That's his second foul. Oh, excuse me, are they calling that, that's not a foul? Wow. That was just out of bounds on the Tigers. Razine's kind of lucky on that. Tigers have only committed 2 fouls this quarter. Neville 3, that's off. But the Bulldogs with another rebound.
They are now leading the board situation, 23 rebounds to 10.
Here's a three-point attempt, up and no good.
Make the 23-11.
Here's Fields with the 3. That was on, but a little short. Rebounded by number 34, Hudson Hill. Neville at the wing to Parker to Hidalgo. Shots up and good. That's an and one attempt, or an and one, excuse me. That's on,
looked like Armador.
And he'll come out. Kaufman will come in for him. Hidalgo, three-point opportunity, up and good. Here's Razine. Man, Razine is fast. He can turn on the Jets. Here's Fields. Fields to Kaufman. Kaufman to Razine. Oh, and Razine just turns the ball over. Razine kind of got shoved there by Gavin Parker. Here's Neville drives. Oh, taken away by Kaufman. Razine. Here's a 3-2 opportunity. Fields. That was a nice play. 6 minutes left. Here's Hidalgo. Tigers with the press. No. Oh. Kaufman's going to get called for the foul, and that was, excuse me, Fields. No, she did say 2. I thought she said 12 there.
Don't scare me like that.
As much as Coach Wallace did not like that, I think that was the right call. Neville now with the ball. Picked up his dribble. Over to Cathcart. Hidalgo. Ooh. Kaufman with a hard foul on Hidalgo. And that's Kaufman's third. He better be careful.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He was frustrated over here on the bench. And it looks like he's carried out that frustration to the court. You don't want to let that get away from you. It's hard when you're 17, 18 and keep all those emotions in check.
It is.
Let alone when you're 43.
Bobago, second attempt's up and good. Kaufman now behind the back over to Diaz. Diaz going to get called for a travel.
That is his second turnover tonight.
Fields currently the top scorer for the Tigers with 8. They also have Diaz with 5, Kaufman with 5, and Razine with 5. Oh, nice takeaway by Diaz with the, and he finishes the layup.
7 points for Diaz, 3 for 3 from the floor.
Bulldogs with some dangerous passes. Neville out to Cathcart. Cathcart to Metcalf. Metcalf out to 34 Hill. And they're going to call 3 seconds in the lane for Parker, I believe. Coach Kerr not too happy about that. Here's Kaufman bringing it up for the Tigers. 15-point deficit. Wallace with the ball. Razine takes it out. Back to Wallace. Kaufman now. Diaz in the corner. Shoots. Good. You know, I wish Diaz would shoot a little more often. He's got a hot hand tonight.
He is 4 for 4 from the floor with 9 points.
He is just overtaken Fields as the high scorer for Guymon. And Wallace is going to get called for a foul there. That is his 4th.
I don't know how the foul didn't occur before the shot from, who's the shooter there? Number 11, Dylan Metcalf, pushed him out of the way in order to even get that shot up.
First shot's up and no good. Number 30, Cole Fisher, is going to come in for Gavin Parker. Metcalf, second attempt is up and good. Fields now with the ball for the Tigers. Over to Kaufman, Diaz, back to Kaufman. Kaufman, Diaz, oh, fakes a 3, should have shot that. Razine drives, shoots, nice lay-in. It's not really a layup, that was more of a lay-in. There's a 3-2 opportunity for the Bulldogs, but they do not capitalize. Diaz, over to Razine. Razine shoots, that one's good. Tigers quickly make this a 10-point game. 3:35 remaining. Bulldogs with the ball. And that one will go for number 30, Cole Fisher.
He almost had a collision at the scores table, and Razine was able to avoid it.
Razine with a long 3. That's no good. Oh, and Wallace is going to foul out.
Wallace was not in position. He should have just let it go.
And Gonzalez is going to have to come in for him. Diaz is going to come out. Slover comes in. And Cole Fisher at the line. Bulldogs now in the bonus. Bulldogs up by 12. Rebound by Kaufman. Over to Slover. Cherry picking. And that one will go. Here's the trap. Oh, and taken away by Fields. And they're going to call a foul on, I'm not sure, on number 15, Hidalgo. So it'll be Tiger ball. 3 minutes left. Kaufman now gets to Fields. Fields to Razine. Razine to Kaufman. Oh, and Kaufman's going to get called for a walk there.
Did not need that right there.
Here's Cathcart to Hidalgo. Hidalgo. Here's the trap. Cathcart. And they're going to call a blocking on Gonzalez.
That'll be his second, I believe. Second it is.
You know, the Tigers need to start using the size advantage of the Bulldogs to their advantage. If they would just set their feet and take a charge, they would be fine. Cathcart, first attempt's up and good.
Coach Wallace was begging for that during the last timeout.
Second attempt's up and good as well. Lead back to 12, 37 to 49. Kaufman, Slover to Razine, to Fields for three. That one's no good, but they're gonna call a foul on Slover there. I don't know about that. That's his second. Coach Kerr is upset.
I bet he was a bully in school.
Diaz is in for Slover now. Here's Cathcart shooting 1-on-1. Up and no good. Gonzalez the rebound. Razine to Fields, wide open three. No good. Rebound by Neville. Now Cathcart to Gonzalez almost had an opportunity to take that away. Bulldogs now trying to reset, slow things down.
2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Neville back out to Metcalf. Metcalf drives, gets it to Fisher. Neville. They're going to call a foul on that.
That was some LeBron James acting right there. That's good. That's good.
Call is on Gonzalez. I didn't even see Gonzalez close. They're going to bring him out and put Amador back in. Bulldogs are now in the double bonus. Neville, top scorer for the Bulldogs, now has 10 points. Coronado comes in as well for the Tigers. Second attempt's up and good. Points to the sky.
Gotta love it.
Here's Fields, Kaufman, Coronado, Razine. Kaufman, three, good. Tigers needed that. Minute 34 left in this fourth quarter. Tigers at the timeout. We'll be back in just a few moments. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the game here. Tigers trail by 11, trying to get something going. But much like in our girls game, the Tigers have not given up here in the fourth quarter. They have been there. I want to say at one point in the third quarter they were down by 18, but they have come back trying to get it back to a single deficit, and that'll be a 10-second violation on the Bulldogs.
Good work right there by your Tigers. Now we need buckets. Got to make it count.
Here's Kaufman. Rosine. Rosine dribbles right. Gets a screen by Slover. Diaz drives, shoots. Oh, and misses that, but rebound by Fields. Back to Slover. Three. That one's no good. Kaufman tried to put that back. And they're going to call a foul on Fields. That's his fourth. The Tigers have struggled in the past with fouls, and this could prove costly for them again tonight. That is their 11th foul of the half. Minute and 1 second remaining. First one's up and no good by Metcalf. Second one is up and good. 12-point ball game. Kaufman driving quickly. Gets to Diaz. To Rosine. Rosine for three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Hidalgo. Neville now. Cathcart. Back to Hidalgo. Neville drives. Gets to... Now it's out to Metcalf. Now Hidalgo. Neville. 30 seconds left. And Diaz is going to just foul him, trying to get something. And Neville refs are talking. I'm not sure what.
There's a clock situation. The clock did not stop on the foul. It should be somewhere around 29.3 seconds, but we'll see what they decide. They'll go with 30 seconds, and even 30.
Tigers just running out of time for this comeback. Neville's shot is up and good. Neville has been great from the free throw line tonight. I believe he now has 11 points.
That is correct.
Second free throw up and no good. Ooh, that was a dive by Metcalf, but he didn't get it.
Nope. Safe in the second, though.
Coach Kerr with the timeout. 13 seconds left, 13 points down, 26 seconds remaining. That's a full timeout. Craig, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I think the height of Hooker was just too much along with the length. They were able to collect some more boards, and they were closing down those passing lanes on the on Guymon's motion offense. There just was no backdoor cuts to be had tonight, which means no easy points. And when you don't have any easy points, you struggle shooting, it's going to be a long night.
How much, what was the differential there on the rebounds now?
Yeah, rebounds. We are at Hooker has 27 total boards to Guymon's 14.
Tigers here with the inbound. Here's Kaufman. Kaufman to Coronado. Coronado to Fields with the three. That one's a little too strong. Slover. And Slover and Fields just fighting for it. And that's taken away by Neville.
You like to see the aggressiveness there on the board, but you also want to see some awareness of who you're taking on. When you're taking on your own teammate, that's usually not good.
And here's Neville. Shots up and good.
We need the Duke University guy with the Speedo behind the board when Neville is shooting, because
that's funny.
He's automatic.
Tigers here, 15 seconds left. Ooh, nice move by Razine. Gets to Fields, 10 seconds. Fields up and no good. Rebound by Coronado. And our iPad just died, but that's okay because we have 3 seconds left.
That was by no means a foreshadowing of the outcome of tonight's game.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Unfortunately, the Tigers fall 40-55 to the Hooker Bulldogs. But thank you for being with us virtually. We appreciate your support to these Guymon Tigers. This is Nathan Jenkins.
Craig Shepard.
Signing off.